Hi everyone. In today's session, we're going to deploy the application in Kubernetes service, and we will be integrating the other PaaS offering as part of this tutorial, which is Service Bus. Now, if we talk about the application, this is how the application is designed, where we are saying that the customers will visit the website from store where the storefront application will be taking the request, and the whatever orders you are placing, that is going to be handled by this order service, and the orders will be handled by ordered queue. And along with it, we have product service which will have hold the product information and all that. Now this is the application, the way it looks, I mean, the way it functions. Now we have the images. If you look at the images, the container registry, images అన్ని ఇక్కడ ఉన్నాయి, which we have built and pushed into that repository of the container registry, and we are going to deploy this application in this cluster, which is right now just getting created. And so if we look at the way it works and all that, I'll go into that cluster, and I mean into the cluster, and I'll just deploy that. To do this, I'll have to just copy this commands, and here if the resource group is AKSRG and ACR login server, so I wanted the details of the login server and everything of the ACR. After this, then I would like to go inside the how would I keep it, to this YAML manifest file or config file, and I would like to change the ACR name, because they would have kept a generic one, but I have to, my ACR is a unique name, has a unique name, and have to use that and paste it in this one. So I've already cloned my repo. In case if you remember the previous one, we have to clone the Git repo, and once you clone the Git repo, you'll have this in place. Now I would like to have to go to the AKS store quickstart.yaml. So AKS store quickstart YAML. There we go. I click on insert. Now I'll go inside this, and so we are taking images directly from this place, but that's not how it has to be, right? The images has to be coming from ACR and all that. Now, as of now, it's pretty much the public registry where you're getting it, but you can see that you have to mention your ACR name slash AKS demo slash and all that. This. So how can I do this? You go to every place. This rabbit MQ, I'm not touching this one, because this is more about acting as a queue-based one, listening everything, and trying to store the orders which are being placed as a queue. So I'm not touching this stateful set, and then not touching this plugins which are getting installed for that rabbit MQ application to run, which will take the orders, everything into queue. And this is a service, I'm not touching that. The rest of the ones, order service, if I go here, the image, uh, storefront demo, I have to go inside this. Where is this container registry? Here it is. And if I can copy this login server, dash. So this is the one. Now same thing, I'm going to copy this. Mm, Not getting copied. Fine. I'll have to. So I name change this one. Then what else? So all is good. That is it. So I'm going to save this. And now that is deployed. So few things which I have to do is get the cluster details so that I can use that as a deployment. Okay, now that is stored. The config details. Next one which I have to do is, so this is just in case if you, I try to copy it from portal. If you are not trying to copy it from portal, you can just run this and you can see that you will get the same ACR login server name, which I tried to copy it from here. Now, once that is done, I updated the manifest file, manifest file, and I can do the deployment. Now, to do the deployment, just to paste and see. Now you can see here that following pods have been created. Coop, Curtle. So when I do this one, if you would have remember, like when I'm going inside the file, there are a lot of other services which are there inside it. Now get pods. Now you can see here. Okay, image pull back off. That is could be because of mm, yeah, because this cluster doesn't have the permissions to pull the images from the ACR. So let us give the permissions. So just I searched how to give AKS permission to ACR, and there are commands. I'm not sure this commands is going to work or not, but we have just copied it here and we will try it. So first thing which I'll do is it is going to store that value inside this is a ACR resource ID. Before that, I really wanted to go and try to run. What am I getting? There we go. I'm getting the resource ID of that ACR. Then I will have to assign RBAC. To give RBAC ACR pull permission, I need to get the identity of the Kubernetes cluster. Now for that, I asked the query principal kubelet identity principal ID, and I'm not getting anything on it. The reason could be that I have chosen the while I'm creating this Kubernetes cluster, the authorization. See, how could I am actually deducting that one? Because I'm not getting any uh, principal ID there. Okay, so I'll just remove anyways query and I'll see whether there is something on it. Okay, so demo table and this is the cluster configuration. Here, Azure policy, secret provider, this one is fine. API, autoscaler profile, upgrade, Kubernetes version, disable local accounts, that is false. And did I ask enable RBAC and all that? So enable RBAC, it is true. Identity, principal ID. So there you go. I have this principal ID. So I should have tried here identity and then do it. So let me just copy this and see whether I'm getting whatever I'm required. So there you go. So please don't follow directly everything which you are able to see it. You have to really understand and debug things and all that. Anyways, I could see that is enable RBAC is the win, and I could see that is an identity and I have picked that identity. And so I just edited this. I'm good with this. Then I have to run this one. So first let me store the values inside it. ACR resource ID. The reason is because I didn't switch to bash. I have to switch to bash to perform such kind of things. Yeah, I'm just looking whether I could able to get this or not. Now I'm going to store that values. Now if I ask for dollar $ACR, there you go. I have this. Okay, sorry. CR echo ACR dollar ACR. Yeah, this will give me the value. It's been long. I touched CLI, but you should be able to do this. And now I'm storing the identity in this one, and it is just doing a RBAC assignment. Now I can do it from portal also. Okay, please remember this that I can do it from portal also. We can do this from portal, like we go into this cluster, not cluster. We have to go inside that container registry, go to IAM, you get the role assignment ID and all that. You're going to give that ACR pull. so that it will be able to pull, which will be able to pull, Kubernetes will be able to pull that one. And we can see here that the ACR has been given the means per cluster has been given the permissions. So if I look at the role assignments and then everything, I could be able to give the permissions. And what else? This is complete. Clear the screen and this is complete ACR pull. I'll have to just update this. So I'll redo the deployment. Kubectl. So I didn't clone the repository, if you remember, in the bash point of view, as it is not there. That would have been changed there. I have to go and edit everything once again. But anyways, let us do it faster. Okay. Okay, I should have been there. Got it. I'll just do echo AKS store quick start YAML cat, sorry. Now I wanted to see whether that, yeah, all that ACR name, everything is correct or not. Then I have to run the deployment, which is kubectl apply and changed, unchanged. So get pods, this is, so I have to rerun this one. So for that, I will just uh, remove the pods which were running there, or I can reapply the what do you say? I guess reapply deployment command. This, yeah, restart the deployment is the right word. But anyways, I can specifically deploy. So first I'll do reapply AKS store quick start. So there is no reapply restart. RabbitMQ is not restarting is not supported. Uh, Storefront restarting is not supported. Okay, these are services, so those are not being start, but the rest of the ones which are deployments have been restarted, and the stateful set has been restarted. So if I do get pods right now, only one has been running there. I could actually go and do image. the kubectl describe pod. I could actually go and debug all these things. I didn't want to touch debugging right now, but if you wanted to see where the error is going and all that, like the events successfully assigned, okay, backing pull off image, demo ICR latest, image pull back off, fail to pull image back, authorize anonymous, get request. So there is this demo test. ACR pull has been assigned to the managed identity, and I can go and check. The identity details of the cluster will be given somewhere. I just networking, scaling. Maybe taking certain time, I believe, but it should be working out. Mhm. Okay, so I will go ahead and run this one. Anyways, our goal is right now, once I take this, so did I miss anything here? Image, ACR, Azure samples with your ACR login name, and I've given the permissions, save and close. Container registry. Okay, this is what we have done. Create a container. Uh, Now let's understand what has been done. I have to give permission to ACR, and then uh, you can give this, but I while I'm creating the cluster itself, I haven't attached this. If at all, I could have attached this integrations here in the container registry. If I would have attached this registry, the permissions, everything would be automatically given, everything. And but anyways, for the existing cluster, to give that one, what did I do? I had to run this command az aks update aks demo test resource group to while I was running, it asked me to re-authenticate and all that. But anyways, if you see, I try to provide the resource ID of the ACR, and I tried running this, and it automatically ensures that the permissions, everything has been set to that. And then I tried this AZAKS rollout restart, which has restarted this. Now, if you can see here, order service is there, but this one, which was initiated long time ago, this is not running. So RabbitMQ is running, product service is running, storefront is running, but not this one. I'll first delete everything and I'll redo the deployment. So order service is also terminated. We'll wait for that to get terminated. So this is the load balance service. So it took certain time to get deleted and all that. Now I'll reapply this. Created. Now I do get pods. So what happened to order service? Copy this. Kubectl describe pod paste. Now I go inside this. Successfully assigned a default order service. Okay, pulling image, busy box, container, wait for rabbit and queue, started pulling image, latest, successfully pulled this image, created container, started container. So So everything is set in place, everything is running. Now this application is running. So I could all see this data from the cluster also. Please remember, if at all while I'm going to cluster, I was looking at Kubernetes resources, service ingress, you would be able to see all these things here also. And if the IP address and the cluster IP. So this is the front-end application. Uh, what do you say? When I'm creating the storefront, why I was a bit concerned to look at the everything is running or not, so that I can show you what it was to place the order and all that. If I click on add to cart, the things are been added to cart, and I can click on checkout. The order has been submitted, and so this is like you're getting this information and all that from product service, and you you add to the cart. It just goes in the cart and place the order. So the entire orders will be there in the RabbitMQ uh, service. Now all this, whichever would have message, we may be seeing it later on, but I will show it in service bus. So when we are going to this pass offering, that is shows this the data, everything which has order is being recorded. So because service bus will be we can this demo is talking about how do you connect your service bus to your cluster, and whatever order details we are giving, we could actually go and see that. So anyways, what I wanted to show is how we can go inside this application even from here, or if you wanted to see more on this one, Kubectl, uh, what do you say? I could get the storefront is the one. This is the service which is having the load balancer, and I can get this one. And if I send the same, it is end of the day, same request, which will route it to this load balancer will be routing to that container, everything, and that's been attached to AT port and of the container which is running here. So this is it. Uh, that we have deployed an application. Now we'll try to play with service bus now. I will try to do this bit faster. The location name is Northwest US, it is Central India, and the random, I'm calling a random function to store the random value. And the AK, its resource group name is AKS-RG, and AKS demo name is AKS demo test. And I'm storing the service bus name as sp hyphen store hyphen demo hyphen random. So I have to just initialize all this once. Let me see what is the service bus name which comes. So this is the service bus name. So I have to create this, all these things. How do I go ahead and create one? Uh, Here they were trying to talk about how do you create service bus name, and RG name is AKS RG location name. So I'll close this. I'll paste it here. And service bus will get created. Once a service gets created, the next one is I have to create a queue. Now you may be looking at like I'm just going and running the commands, but when I am trying to run, how am I looking at it? How am I getting an error? How am I trying to debug it and achieve the use case? Is something which you have to try to learn. This is a basic level of troubleshooting, I would say, because when you go into a container and you see more further details, you have to you will be end up looking at in a lot more deeper aspect of it. Create queue in service bus. Once, okay, so let me copy this. Once that is done, I have to create an authorization rule, okay, so that I can actually go ahead and uh, ensure any requests are being routed to that queue. So here, if you see this queue which got created, uh, that queue name is orders, and service bus resource group name, everything's name sender. The rights is send. That should be create authorization rule queue for send receiving request. Yes, AKS cluster. So I just created a authorization rule, but I have to still go and actually assign it to the link to the cluster, and that's what is happening. So for that, I'm getting the keys and everything. I believe that's what it is. It's getting the once I create authorization rule, I'll get the key and I'll use that saving that key in somewhere here, replace with SB sender password. So that I have to use it. As of now, let me run that. So I got a authorization rule. Now I have to get the key of it. To get the key, first of all, we'll see whether everything is properly set in place. We have the namespace, everything. Now this is the key. Copy that, paste it here, and till I get the credential. So anyways, I have the credentials and all that. Only thing which I have to, so they're asking me to remove the rabbit MQ because those are not needed. If I do kubectl get pods, so rabbit MQ is not needed. Kubectl delete. I believe that is apps.rabbitmq service. So they're asking just to remove it in the AKS config YAML itself. Okay, I'll remove it in AKS store, quick start YAML, remove, insert. So this is a stateful set. I'll remove this. And I'll remove the plugin. I'll remove the RabbitMQ service. Okay, and I'll leave the order service, everything here. Now I wanted to go in the existing order service. This is what they have asked me to add. What is replace with your ACR name, which is already there. And so they want me to copy this and paste it first there. I will use that one. Okay. So from here, ACR. I placed here the service bus host name. How will I get that? So if I just copy this and paste it here, or I can go to the service bus itself. All resources, service bus. Here it is the host name. I wanted this and I wanted to paste it here. I'll remove this. Now you remember I got the password, which I'll copy it here. Now they said that whatever you are seeing here, you order service that has to be placed. So they're asking to replace the existing deployment section with the following content. So I have to just remove this entire thing. So when I get a time, I'll explain few more details like how are we limiting the CPU size and attaching it, how much we can assign, how much core we can have to assign per application, and all that also we can do. And that's what is happening. So the container ports, the CPU 1M, 75M memory, 50 MI. What does it mean? I have to explain you. But as of now, I'll copy this. I think when I do talking about scaling applications and upgrading that point of time, I will explain. Uh, Paste. Okay. So this should be good. Save this. And they're asking to redo the deployment kubectl by order service deployment kubectl get pods. I will remove RabbitMQ kubectl delete. So I'm removing this pod and so I'm not able to remove this one. That is because I have to delete in a particular style. I have to do a delete, what do you say, and give the actual pod name. So if I go to the pod name, that will be apps dot something like this. So this is a deployment. So I have to just go and do it. No, anyways, uh, RabbitMQ, I deleted it. So RabbitMQ, this one is a service. No, this will be a deployment. Delete apps, RabbitMQ. Okay, okay. Nothing is there. So get pods, it's running. Then if I delete this pod, that should not be triggered anymore. Okay. So that's what the cluster is actually respinning it up. Uh, I will try to deploy this, delete this entire file and reapply it. That is the only thing which is left out. Copy, paste. So did we remove this? AKS store, quick start, YAML, product service, deployment storefront, service storefront. Okay. But anyways, I've linked it to the service bus. Now is when I have to debug where it is going wrong. I don't want to touch that right now. Instead, I can get the app service details. Again, I have to go inside the cluster. If you remember, I can go and touch from the service ingress, and if I do this and all resources again, service bus. So I can go inside this service bus. I'll place an order here. Check out. So we use right now to say, if you remember, storefront application has been updated where this complete has been updated where the order service is being taken and it's asking the values to be sent to this one service bus, and we gave the password of the service bus also here so that it can, when it is sending it, it will authenticate itself that it is the right one. So the queue username is sender. You remember that I created an authorization rule there with the sender and everything. So that's what we have tried doing it. So if I go inside this and in entities, I guess in queues, you can see here orders. There is an active message which came in, and that came just some time back. And if I look at the service bus explorer, if I'm not wrong, I'll be able to view the messages from there in this. Peak next message, peak from start, peak with options. No need to cancel this. Show message body. So if you see here, we got the product price details and all that. Product 4, product 5, product 3, product 6. So we have sent that. So all that details have been coming here like this. So that's how we connected a service bus to the AKS cluster. So we have done a lot of things in this session, but I want you to understand. So don't try to just run the commands and all that, but try to understand the purpose and all that. So more we deep dive, we are getting a lot of errors. The more we debugging and why are we doing it and all that, it makes sense. Whatever the concepts are involved in it, and the more if we try to focus on it, there are a lot of concepts which you will try to trigger. So why are we trying to do in terms of a certificate interviews understanding point of view? If we everything which you are trying configurations and features, if you see at least some 60% or we 76 or 50%, 70% we are trying to touch that through this tutorial. And there are few more concepts which are there. One is the scale applications which will help us to understand How do you scale your pods and replica sets point of view? How do you scale your nodes? Uh, how do you upgrade your cluster, Kubernetes, and all that? And when we are specifically trying to touch and understand more on how do we deploy our application and all that, you will literally see we do a better enhancements and all that in upgrading our cluster. So rollout, we have seen kind of things. We'll do it in a more enhanced way and all that. And when we're troubleshooting our containers or when we're trying to scale up, we will be talking more some part of it on config YAML manifest files point of view. And so this is how you can try to do explore your from your own end. And when you are preparing all this, I want you to literally prepare that content. మీరేంది అంటే ఒకటి అర్థం తెలుసుకున్నప్పుడు దాన్ని ఒకటి డెఫినేషన్ ఫామ్ చేసుకోండి అండ్ యూ షుడ్ బి ఇన్ ఎ పొజిషన్ టు ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ దట్ ప్రాపర్లీ. If you are in a position to explain that properly, what you have just done and how, what kind of issues, మీకు ఏం issues ఏం face అవుతున్నారు, that errors or issues, you can tell that things in the interview that what kind of issues you encountered while you're playing with your AKS in your environment అన్నప్పుడు, I mean playing and working on your AKS cluster, and you can tell this kind of class. Now, how bigger is your error, they would understand that how troubleshooting you would have done and all that. Okay, so this is it, guys. I'm ending my recording. Thank you. Please delete the resources which you have created.